Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another review. This one is on Macross Delta's 20th episode. Now, this episode is a direct continuation of the previous episode, where Mikumo is still in her coma. The member of Wakure are like testing Freya and Hayate to see if if is starting to have like the early onsets of VAR syndrome, like what Messer had, even though Wakure was singing, from Kaname singing. And what we get here is that it seems that Freya has like some sort of like subconscious, like some sort of like psychological like thing that's preventing her from singing. As it reminds me a lot of a certain scenario from Idolmaster. But moving on is that they can't really, since she can't sing, they can't really like pinpoint if her singing is really what caused the VAR syndrome like effects to appear in Hayate. So they're essentially just nearly every day they're just essentially repeating the same test and over again. And we get a lot of questions with the members of Wakure, like basically trying to find where Mikumo is, what's up with her, and they even managed to try and contact HQ, but they've got like no word back from them, and so they decide to take matters into their own hand, which is basically them essentially hacking into the the medical ship that Mikumo is on, and then you know kind of being sneaked on board by Machina and all that good stuff. But let's go back a bit further back in the episode where we get Freya and Hayate basically just like being all gloomy and stuff, and essentially them thinking that they're the cause of the problem. With Hayate saying that it's my fault that she can't sing, and Freya's like it's my fault that Hayate turned almost far, and basically they get into this childish argument about the two saying, I'll quit being in the Delta Squad so you can sing. She's like, no, I'll quit singing so you can be in the Delta Squad. And it was basically just like a childish plat of like, I'll quit, no, I'll quit. And then we get the Mirage overhearing them and her being angry at both of them for saying such a thing because it's their passion. It's what they signed up for when they joined the Delta Squad in Wakure. And we get to see, let's go a bit further back into the episode of Mirage, showing like obvious feelings for Hayate and basically being pained whenever she sees him angry, sad, or whatnot, and is just trying to cope with her feelings towards him, which is like a gigantic crush that she's developed over him over like the past few episodes, and whew. And we have a confession scene. Well, not really a true confession scene as she was speaking to both of them, but it's clear that Hayate knew from when she says, then I love you, when she's addressed clearly when she was addressing Hayate and Freya about the quitting thing. Them quitting is just nonsense and that they should just stop it because they're both important allies to her. And then she says, I love you. Now, we have Freya's face, which was she was a bit confused at what she said, but then she looks over to Hayate, and Hayate, I'm pretty sure, understood what she meant. Because he was just like looking at her as she walked away, like, did she just say that? And we all know that Hayate says, if you like someone, why don't you just say it? And Mirage essentially basically just said it, basically beating Freya to the punch. Yeah. So basically, Hayate now knows that Mirage likes him, is in love with him, and we're going to go see that development, I guess, for the last remaining 6 episodes. I think it was confirmed for 26. So yeah, 6 more episodes. It's gonna ramp up. I have a feeling that everything is gonna go crazy. Someone might die. A lot of people might die, maybe, or key members of Valkyria will bite the dust. One of them being Freya, as that's what everyone on the forums and what I think is possibly going to happen to the Triangle. As Kawamori, the creator of Macross, said in an interview before Macross Delta even airs that there's going to be the Triangle. It's obviously going to be there because of all the show networks and all the planes, Love Triangle, and the music. But the triangle isn't exactly going to connect. Now, if you were going to look at the Macross Delta logo and look at the triangle when it says Macross Delta, you can see that the triangle doesn't exactly connect with like overarch is or broken. So basically, some parts of it aren't going to connect, which I'm pretty sure the little triangle is part of the broken equation, and I'm guessing the music is also part of the broken equation, as we're seeing some sort of like abbreviations, like some sort of like irregularities in that triangle that they use for the Macross Delta signal sign. Yeah, symbol. I mean, gosh, what's wrong with me? So basically, I'm guessing two of the elements won't go. Obviously, the Valkyries are going, somewhat okay with the triangle, but Hayate isn't progressing reasonably well as an ace pilot. He's just like above average normal grunt, which makes sense considering how they're doing the music is a weapon storyline, which I kind of expected from Karamori once they unveiled. Like when I found out it was about idols, I was like they're going obviously going to do this route. with especially with how Macross 2 finally got around to watching it. It's non-canon, by the way. I can see why it's non-canon, as it tried to fit too much into like the OVA episodes and was way too similar to like the original Super Dimension Fortress Macross. But I can also see how there are issues with it, and there are people saying that Macross 2 is still canon, even though it's been confirmed to be set in an alternate reality where the events of 7 plus Frontier and stuff never happened, because obviously, of course, they weren't produced there, and that the events of Macross 2, I'm going to spoil it a bit because you should probably just watch it after, because it's just something that you might not be into regarding its content, which Macross Delta obviously pulled some like inspiration, like the Wind Singer, the Hines, and all that from Macross 2, like in the idea of it having an opposing enemy thing, like Singer, which is what Macross 2 had. But yeah, in any other case, this episode basically also showed off the Windermere side, how they're all possibly reacting. The previous doctor that was like attending to Heinz is gone, with Royd saying he went back to his family, and Keith being suspicious, asked the two twins, Leo and I forgot the other one's name, since they're like, their family is big in medicine and all of that, which has a funny comment from one of the twins saying, "Are you in love with someone, Mr. White Knight?" Or Keith, I can't remember exactly, but I think he's saying White Knight. He said, "Are you in love with a lady or something? We have love potions, aphrodisiacs," and he's gonna say more, and then his other twin was just like, "Hey, stop that!" And it hits him. I was just like, Windermere got all the the goods. Basically, he says he's used these connections to find out more what happened to that doctor, or of what Royd is exactly planning for the Windermerian species and like the future of it. A flashback of Royd and Keith as kids, and that they've become friends and all that, and that they both hated weak people who were in the positions of power, even though they didn't deserve it. And there's also a prequel manga illustrating their early days, which is what pertains to this, and that not many people know, but it is out, and it uploads. I think it updates like every month, I think. So translations on it are slow, and it will never be licensed here because Harmony Gold. And there are some, I think some certain manga sites has it listed as licensed, but it would never be licensed. No way, Jose. I'm sorry. Harmony Gold just has its fingers on Macross and just wants to, like, you could just continue to pillage off of Robotech, because that's apparently all I see here about Harmony Gold, and I obviously cannot see. And also, thing is about Robotech is that it's a American adaptation of Macross without the music and the main storyline and plot, and they also made a original animation continuing the plot of failed miserably, I heard, and they tried to scam fans out of plenty of money to make a single episode of this new season that they were going to produce. Even though they're a real estate agency, they should have several. But let's go move back from that. But yeah, this entire episode is basically just going to set up the big finale that Macross Delta is obviously building up towards, and I can see. And there are also several ways that this could end, especially with the ending of this episode where we saw like, the various members of Wakure, being arrested, which was. We'll also get a bit of input between, Machina and I'm having a brain fart. I can't remember her name. Blah 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 blah. I can't remember. I'm sorry, but that they are apparently bad girls. Apparently they've gotten in trouble for hacking, and I'm guessing that's how they got out, by being in Wakure. From what Kaname has said, when she entered the room and found them no hacking, so they won't let you get away with this. And basically, Nakina and what's her face? I'm sorry, I've forgotten her name. I don't know why. I'm having a brain fart. Busy day at school. She what's her face gets arrested. Kaname breaks into the place where Miku was being held, and she's in that tank, and she starts up the song, man, the song Giraffe Blues, and she's singing there and humming it, and the episode ends, which you get the title of it being Impulse something. I can't remember right now. I'm sorry. But this episode was definitely awesome, just a huge setup with like the details that they presented us with Windermerians, the Wakure, plot arc about them getting arrested and breaking into and trying to free Mikumo. And also the little tidbit about Ernest Johnson like approving it. Like I'm pretty sure he would know something is up if Kaname suddenly fell ill out of nowhere. So I'm guessing Chaos is probably going to go rogue, or do something to have like Lady M like finally contact them. We don't know who Lady M is, and there are so many theories and stuff, and that are constantly being debunked, and the same one being revised from being debunked, and then being debunked again, which is just hilarious to see. But she's going to have to make an appearance either in the last episode, setting up the next Macross, possibly. I can also see them going, Carter Moore doing that, like doing a face review of Lady M, and like new Macross is in development for several years, probably 2020 or something like that, and just setting up this big arc. But of course, Macross Delta is ending soon, and that's going to be very, very sad. They're getting their second single coming out with more songs, and they're obviously going to have several more single albums coming out after this show ended, if Frontier is anything to go by. So, and who knows, we'll also get a Macross Delta movie, just like Frontier, with new music and better animation, which I would love to see. It would be pretty cool. That's about it for this review, actually. Now, this episode was more on the slow side. Not enough action, but just enough, mystery building, tension world building, and just like setting up that it got me actually interested and focus on the episode to see what little details prop up. But yeah, that's about it for this episode of a Macross Delta review. Episode 20, Impulse Drive, I think that's what it's called. I think I remember now. It could not be it, but anyways, this episode was really, really decent. Um, yeah, basically, big setup. We all know that's coming. So, hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment down to, if you want to point something out that I missed or I said wrong, that I have something wrong, clarify things, or just want to chat about the episode in general. Leave a comment. So, this is me, Rayamo, signing out for now. See you guys and gals and everyone else later. Good day, good night, good morning, good evening, good midnight, good whatever. Happy day after school if you guys are in school right now, or attending a college or whatever. See everyone next time. See ya.